Hello and welcome to Queensland Raceway, the setting for round 3 of the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. Picturesque Queensland Raceway has pulled out all the stops with over 230 entrants joining us here for some racing action this weekend for 2 days of thunder. Balmy conditions under a patchy cloud cover, and we are so keen to get this show rolling for day 2. Matty, it was an absolutely incredible day of racing, headlined by the TA2 muscle cars.
Today is where the rubber meets the road. So we've had lots of discussions up and down pit lane overnight about what their tyre strategies are. Some of the drivers, they're bolting on their best rubber for this race, then hopefully defending in race 4. Some of the other guys, they're going to leave it to race 4 to be able to try and get up the grid.
Well, this is only round 3 of a 6-round series as we hop around the country. In August, we head to the Bend to run the national circuit. Definitely one to look out for. And then October is a double header. At the start of the month, Winton Raceway will be our home before we move on to One Raceway for the grand finale. Definitely something to look forward to. One
Raceway is going to be fantastic because there won't have been too many national categories, if any, run there. So we're really looking forward to getting down there and having a look at the revamped Wakefield Park. A lot of our guys have got experience there, so it's going to be fun to see what the track delivers for TA2 racing.
Josh Haynes came out. He's eyeing off a clean sweep after pulling that off at round 2 for Winton Raceway's event. How's he been so far? 2 races, 2 wins.
He's been dominant, hasn't he? I mean, he's got the pace and he's got the confidence. We saw that in qualifying yesterday when he made a little mistake going off at turn 1 after his bank lap, and then came straight away out of the gates and pulled in the only time in the 11. So he's racked with confidence at the moment, which is fantastic. But, you know, there are a couple of guys that are just behind him that are a little bit frustrated. Russell Wright is the guy that I'm watching today. 72 years of age, a former champion of our category. He's lurking with intent. He's back there in 5th. He's a competitive guy, and he wants to belt the young fellas. So I reckon he's got good rubber underneath him, and I reckon we'll see a result from him today.
Yeah, an inaugural series champion from 2017. But Brad Gartner, he is also one of those lurking with intent, as you say, running consistent second in the 2 races. He's been putting on a masterclass, but not quite able to go toe-to-toe with Haynes.
Certainly not as dominant as he was at Morgan Park for our last round, where he took pole and won every single race. So he hasn't been able to get on top of that this weekend. But again, he's also thinking about the long game, because he had a big accident at Sydney Motorsport Park at the first round. So he has to consolidate points. He has to finish every race. If he's right up there with the front guys, he'll put himself in with a chance of a championship at the end of the year.
While we're here on the starting grid, let's check in with another member of our crew. Mel, who have you got?
Down here with Connor Roberts, one of the young up-and-coming drivers in this category. Connor was just telling me how he thinks he's faster than a few of the cars in front, and is intending to make up a few spots in this one.
Yeah, I like to be faster. I think we can move forward. We tuned the car up overnight. We found out yesterday we had a flat tyre in the race, or a tyre that was deflating in the race, so we found out it was flat this morning. So yeah, I reckon we'll just see how that goes.
So you started off with 6 and you're down to 5. Do you think that will affect your tyre strategy for today?
I don't think so. I reckon we'll just roll with the 4 we got on. Yeah, obviously it's not good to have one of your tyres out of your tyre bank this early, but it's okay. Yeah, it'll be right.
Okay, well, we look forward to watching you pass those people.
Cool, thank you. Cheers.
Well, Josh Haynes eyeing off that clean sweep. I bet you're getting sick and tired of hearing those words, but what is the aim for today?
Yeah, look, we got two long races today, and it's actually quite warm. It's a lot warmer than it is back in Canberra, so the Herzog Steel Ford Mustang is an absolute weapon. We're going to get out there, have some fun racing, hopefully clean, and yeah, bring it home and make sure we've got a good car for the last race.
Well, there we go. One to definitely watch out for. He won't be too hard to spot in the Herzog Steel Mustang. Mel, out there on the grid, where are you?
I'm here with Russell Wright, up in P5. What's the plan for this one? I hear you like to beat all the young kids.
Well, I'm not going to make it easy for them, but at the same token, it's hard to stay with them. They're quick, couple up the front, super quick. The next couple of guys at times are very similar in the last race, so hopefully I can stay with them. If an opportunity opens up, I'll take it. But I'm quite happy here in 5th, and I'm in front of the Masters, so I'm leading my class, if you like. So consolidating is not a bad idea. But it depends on what you get dealt and what gets handed out to you. But it's quite hot. It's warm in the cars. See what happens.
Okay, thank you. Have a good one. Over to you, J-Mac.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, Matty Mac, joining me up in commentary. Yeah, tensions are building, Matty. Tensions are definitely building.
It's always that way on Sunday because you've put all your effort, all your intention, all your thought into getting to this point where you position yourself and you position your car and your team to get you the best result for the weekend. And as we saw the interviews there, just a couple of those drivers, you know, mentioning we got our best rubber on for the weekend so far as we throw to Hi-Tec oils highlights from yesterday, and you'll see. We thought that Tom Heyman might get around the outside here, but Josh Haynes in the 37 Herzog Steel Mustang just hung tough on the inside.
Definitely had a big move down the inside off of that. I thought Heyman could live out there, and a very good qualifying effort from Tom Heyman, and it didn't quite go to plan after that.
No, it didn't, and then obviously we had some issues with the Heyman Mobile a little bit later on in yesterday's races, so he's actually going to be coming from the back of the grid. This was the big moment of the race yesterday where the Jack's entry, unfortunately, just went in a little too hot and turned a few of the field around. So that was in race 1, Hayden Jackson. We said earlier in the coverage, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. He just cannot catch a break at the moment. This was the 63 TFH car under pressure from Russell Wright. Just threw it off the road, but he's having a fantastic debut round, is Des Collier.
But Des has done a really good job throughout the weekend. So Tom Heyman, this is where it went wrong for Heyman in race number 1. Battling there with Gardner, and it just lost drive right there.
Yeah, so it was probably just a bit of an issue with the way you select gears in these cars. It's a very defined way you need to do it. But it was 37, the Mustang, the man of steel, Josh Haynes, who has this whole weekend by the throat so far. He crossed the line and picked up the race win to a very happy Steve Haynes in pit lane there.
Definitely very, very comfortable in that first race, I thought, with Josh Haynes. Brad Gardner didn't quite have the car speed to get to him. And then into race number 2, it was Gardner and Haynes off the front row, and they went in. And I thought here Gardner had the ascendancy, and he said to you afterwards he was probably too conservative right there.
Yeah, and you can understand why, because as we mentioned in the opener there, he had a big accident at race 1. He doesn't want to do that again. That's scary when you just get a little wide there at 2 as 10K, and also Des did there in the TFH car. You know you're alive, Jamie, when I tell you what, you go around that corner at high speed. There was a rear locking problem for the CNH trucking entry of Domain Ramsey. He ultimately also had a bit of a driveline issue later on in the race and would see him retire. But here's Hayden Jackson, locked those rears, a little heavy under the rear brake, and just locked him, and that sent him wide.
He had a fantastic battle with the Jax Camaro with Mark Bailey in race number 2.
He did, and unfortunately, the TFH 169 car.
Josh Thomas had a driveline issue towards the end of that one as well. This is the race we were sort of talking about. Cheney, his teammate Jared Hughes coming in for the weekend. Would Jared Hughes try and force the issue and go past Cheney? And you and I just agreed to agree on that one, or the other way around.
Yeah, I think you need to be a little careful, obviously, when it's the team boss in play, but at the end of the day, he's a young racer. Just like Josh Haynes, our race 2 winner and championship leader, and that puts him now clear of Graham Cheney, who was equal leader coming into this round. He's now up at 528 points from Graham Cheney and 514 of Brad Gardner in 464, and ironically, they're the first 3 guys on the grid as well.
So Haynes 528, Graham Cheney 514, Brad Gardner 464, Mark Crutcher in the 4, holding on to the 4th position on 440 points. Paul Hadley 416, Connor Roberts, outstanding effort from the young rookie to be on 410 points and top 6 in the championship going into this race.
And Danny Reedy and Domain Ramsey, 2 guys who have crossed across from Speedway into our road racing category, and they are adapting beautifully, and it shows you, Jamie, the importance of finishing every single race. You've just got to accumulate points to be able to be in for the big dance at the end of the year. So, tricky little track, Queensland Raceway. Looks simple on paper, but big passing opportunities into 2 and 3. Probably a little bit low percentage into 2. Higher at 3, 4. Probably not going to be able to do much passing into 5, but certainly in 6. So you set the driver up that you're trying to pass through 4, 5, and then eventually get them into 6. Top speed on the back straight, 4th gear, around 275k an hour in one of our TA2 cars.
Well, the way to have a look at this racetrack is go for an onboard ride, and in this case at Queensland Raceway this weekend we got the opportunity to take a hot lap with Brad Gardner in the Hi-Tec Oils number 22 Camaro.
Hi guys, it's Brad Gartner in the TA2 Hi-Tec Chevy Camaro. Come for a lap around Queensland Raceway with me. Up to 4th gear over the line, check the brakes, down to 3rd gear, big slide through turn 1, like right out to the exit curb, stay in 3rd gear, turn in late for turn 2, same again, big slide out of turn 2. Long straight here, up to 4th gear, double check the brakes the whole way down. Getting ready for a big break into turn 3 here, probably the biggest break in the track, for up around 800-900 PSI. Right into the apex, let it come out all the way. You want to use all the track here, straight on the gas in 2nd. Up to 3rd gear again, up here, all the way up to 4th here to a big break into turn 4. Double check the brakes. Late turn in, you want to use the apron on the right hand side to get it in here to 4. All the exit curb, big slide through, try and hold the throttle on the 5. All the exit curve up here, getting ready for another big break in the last quarter, turn 6 here. Up around the 100-metre board, big break. Back down to 2nd. Want to try and get a good run back onto the straight. All the exit curve, all the way out. And that's a lap at Queensland Raceway. Enjoy the weekend. Cheers, guys.
Great shots there on board with Brad Gardner.
Russell Wright, I mentioned it in the opener, I love Rusty. 72 years of age, and he's sticking it up these young blokes. A little bit like Mark Crutcher, he starts out at 6 as well. As we look at your Hi-Tec Oils starting grid for the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series. Josh Haynes off pole from Brad Gardner, Graham Cheney and Jared Hughes. Russell Wright from 5th, Mark Crutcher from 6th. He's having a good round. Got Jordan Cox down in the points, down in the pits telling him what to do. Jason Pride from Western Australia also having a good run, as is Mark Bailey, despite his issue yesterday. John Hollinger, he's also having a confident run in the top 10, as is Connor Roberts, the rookie from Queensland.
Out of position 11, Hayden Jackson. Des Collier from 12, also a rookie this weekend. Anthony Tancade out of 13, ahead of Steve Wilson, who's done a really, really good job for just his 2nd ever meeting in TA2. Paul Hadley, Danny Reedy's had a few little issues, as has Domain Ramsey. Josh Thomas out of 18, Tom Heyman, the one to watch, out of 19. But coming back to Rusty Wright, he just gets his heckles up on the Sunday.
Yeah, he does. He's very, very confident in these cars. He's a former champion. He was our inaugural champion. So having him in the field this weekend is fantastic. And he will be aggressive. He does not let any opportunity pass, does Russell Wright. So look for him as we run through this race in the number 55 crew commercial. But as I say, I reckon it's Tommy Heyman that will be potentially either our Woolwood Big Breaker Award or our most passes in the field for this race award as they line up now.
Getting ready to go green. Race 3 for the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. Gardner did get the jump on the outside, and that's probably the biggest advantage he's had off the start. Can Haynes live there on the inside? They are side by side, and here comes Jared Hughes on the high line as well. Gardner runs wide. He gets shuffled back, and Cheney up into 2nd.
And that's what happens. You can take advantage of when someone has that little move out to the left-hand side. You lose a lot of traction out on the ripple strip there. And Cheney, who was coming into this round as our co-leader in the championship, he gets the run. But look at Gardner down the inside. Will he follow the Herzog Steel 37, or will Cheney go round the outside? That'll put him to the premium line for the left-hander at turn 4, and he's done it. What a move the front. Cheney.
He did this at Morgan Park, I think in the 3rd race of the weekend. He bulleted through to the head of the field. That was a fantastic run.
And this is where everyone needs to be careful on the cold tyres. We've seen Issues Pride's around.
Oh, on board with Reedy.
No.
Reedy's involved as well. Lots of damage. Hollinger, Josh Thomas.
That's what we had the first time. This will definitely be called under safety car. Crutcher now getting involved as well. We do go to safety car conditions with cars side by side. I think it's Graham Cheney who will lead us.
Just as Haynes was getting an inside run on Cheney at turn number 6. What a dramatic first lap.
And this is what happens always at turn 4. You just get the confidence up, but you've still got cold rear tyres. And Hayden Jackson, man, the bad luck continues for the 81 Maitland Glass Challenger. He's had another punch in the face, and unfortunately, the bonnet is up. He'll need to come in and get that fixed, because at high speed, that will definitely come up as the Hyundai N safety car just leads all of the cars under control at the moment. Great start from Crutcher as well. He made a few spots there, but reminiscent of yesterday's race, Jamie, where we go down into turn 4, cold tyres, cold brains, opportunity for one of those partners.
Cold tyres, cold brains, I love that.
And they just fire in, and unfortunately, because of the radius of the corner, everyone gets stacked up, so where you perhaps would normally go for your brake, you're never going to be able to pull the car up, as we see the stricken car of Danny Reedy, the Desert Palms entry. The medical crew, as we look for a replay here, and just watching to the left of the screen, what's happened there? It looks as though Josh Thomas has got into Pride. Roberts gets missed. Hollinger goes around, and then unfortunately, Josh Thomas.
Collier.
Was it Collier? Wow. So very disappointing that
on board. But this is going to not show everything up front, but you can see what happens here to Reedy as he got a big part of it at the end.
So everyone breaks at their normal spot here, and you can't do it. You've got to break a little bit early, and he just had nowhere to go. He just had a windscreen full of TA2 with no opportunity to dive left or right, and unfortunately, the safety car crew and our recovery crew and medical down with the Desert Palms entry now as Jason Pride is in pit lane, just checking to see if the hubs are loose, if there's been any substantial damage. You can see that there's a bend in the car there. J-Mac, you're down on the spot. What can you tell us?
Down here with Ryan from the Desert Palms crew for Danny Reedy. Give us a rundown. What happened out there?
Oh, I don't know. As far as I can tell, he was just going to break into 4, and some people got a bit loose and spun out in front of him, and he couldn't go left or right, and then what happened happened. So yeah, that's him for the day, I reckon.
Unfortunate times, mate. We would have loved to have seen him right through in race 4.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't think he's two-phased, so we'll bring it in and see how bad it is, but worst case, put it in the truck and have a beer.
Well, there you go. Looking forward to the post-race festivities. Back to you guys.
Said like a true Territorian, hey? If she's wrecked, don't worry about it. We'll just get in the back of the truck and have a couple of beers. So this flag has now been neutralised, red flagged, which means that all of the cars need to come into pit lane, hold their position, obviously, as the team go to work on Jason Pride's car there. Sorry, Jason Pride's car from Western Australia. Long way to come to go racing. As we get to a restart here at race 3 of the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing.
A little bit of cloud cover over the top now. That sort of sun that we had a little bit earlier on, even with you guys on the racetrack, that's actually disappeared. We've got some cloud cover back over the track.
And we like that. That's happy times when you can get that. So Cheney controlling the field here, and off he goes. So we go green on race 3, and he's already gapped.
That's a great restart for Cheney.
That's a brilliant restart for Cheney, as Tom Heyman slides under the inside of Hayden Jackson as well. But that's a fantastic start from Cheney. Look at the gap that he's already put on Haynes. Gardner in P3 there.
Pride's about to come back out.
Hughes in P3.
Hughes in P3. So
have a look at that. So Jason Pride, after that big accident, the Allstars crew have gone to work and been able to get that car back to the race. That is an outstanding effort as Josh Haynes looks up the inside and just runs a little wide. Does Cheney? That could open the door for Haynes to skip across here and gets it done. Look at Hughes hassling in third as well. Will he throw it down the inside under Cheney and gets it done? That answers the question about the driver manager and the team boss. He's made it done, but run a little wide, and that's allowed Gardner now side by side through 5. How do you like your racing in TA2? And gets it done, and gets a run on Hughes now. Does the crossover, gets it done with Cheney now round the outside. This is all playing into the hands for Josh Haynes.
You're 1-0 up on me on that one. I wouldn't have picked that Jared would have had a crack. Oh, there's some contact there.
Is that contact?
It was definitely contact. Hughes trying to come back down the inside. There's something dragging down under the car between him and Gardner out of turn number 6. Mark Crutcher, he's in the battle, and Bailey in the Jacks 12 as well. Bailey's up inside the top 6.
When we went through turn 1 and turn 2, last lap around, Graham Cheney was in the lead, and he's now been relegated back to 4th in the space of 1 lap. Josh Haynes now has a mirror full of Gardner, Hughes and Cheney. But look at Crutcher in the number 4, Crutcher Developments Mustang down under brakes.
Bailey to his outside though, so this is well and truly on. Haynes back through to the lead, so status quo, back to normality as we've seen throughout the rest of the weekend. But there were some really tough exchanges in that top 2 or 3, and from leading Cheney off the restart back in that 4th position, and he's got a heap of cars in behind him, and a charging Tom Heyman up into 8th.
And remember I said at the start of this is the day where the intensity increases. This is where we see the guys really starting to throw it down the road as Russell Wright now comes under pressure from the hard-charging Heyman. He's going to go for the over-under here and try and get the run down the straight. Crutcher, no!
That was Mark Crutcher in the 4, wasn't it? That was spinning for the inside of the circuit. It is the Crutcher 4.
He's come off at turn 6. I'm not sure whether he did it himself or was helped. I can't see any damage there, but 525 horsepower under the right foot, not hard to do, Jamie. You can actually...
I just saw the flash yellow when I was trying there initially, because you've got Crutcher, you've got the Jacks 12 of Bailey, and there was a fair bit going on there. Haynes out in front, but Gardner is chasing him down. Gardner's gone fastest to the first sector. We don't need to talk about gaps because you can see it.
Here we go. Ford versus Chevrolet, the battle of TA2 muscle cars. On the approach down to turn 4, Haynes goes to the left defensive. Gardner looks a little bit out the right. Can't get it done down at 4. Will he set him up for a run between 4 and 5?
Gardner's got pace.
Haynes was loose, but Gardner has got the pace. What can he do coming off 5 now? Can he size him up? Haynes stays to the middle of the circuit. He's not blocking, but he's going to make him earn it if he's going to do it.
Gardner looks like he's been held up here a little bit because he was all over the back bumper of the Herzog Steel 37. So they've done a little bit of a tune-up overnight, and Gardner has well and truly got some speed here. As Cheney's actually starting to close the gap now. That was out beyond 3 seconds. It's down to 1.6, 3rd to 4th.
And it's because these boys are playing so hard at the front.
Haynes through the centre of 4 and 5 is really uncomfortable. Or Gardner just hung the right rear out up over the curb off the exit of 5.
Now, what I think is going to happen here is that you look at Hughes. He's clearly got braking capacity, but taking that outside line is not going to work. So what I think he needs to do is concentrate on 1 and 2, turns 1 and 2 to make the run.
Rusty Wright's gone around.
Right. We'll wait for a replay on what happened there. You can just see the right-hand rear apron and the car turned in. So
damage to the
in and
right
out of
rear.
there, Rusty. Good. But Hughes, he's just got to get a good run through 1 and 2 to try and affect that pass down into 3. If he keeps going late the way he is, he's not going to get the
Gardner showering up the stones, and he's had to react to get that gathered back up. He had just set the fastest lap of the race at a 13.42, 4/10 an outright pace.
Look at
on the
Hughes.
race leader. Hughes to the outside, took advantage of Gardner's moment.
Oh,
Gardner ran through the middle. There's more contact. Not for the first time between these two in this race. A little advantage. Look at the advantage to Josh Haynes out in front.
He'd be
6
loving
to 8
that.
car length.
He'd be loving that after what he's been put through for the last 9 laps of race 3 of the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel from Queensland Raceway.
Here comes Cheney.
But look at that. You can't make contact like that because it will affect your steering and it will affect your pace coming out of that corner, because all of a sudden you jump off the throttle, and if you do that in TA2, there's going to be a big gap for whoever you're chasing. So
Cheney's just done his fastest lap of the race on this last lap.
He's smelling it. He's looking at it.
And so did Heyman. Heyman went 13.9. So Heyman on that lap was actually the fastest driver on track in the 5th position, chasing down Graham Cheney.
And if you think about that in terms of where we were in qualifying, we qualified, Josh Haynes qualified in a late 11, so we're 2 seconds off qualifying pace, nearly 3 seconds back from qualifying pace. Fantastic run from Martin Bailey up in 6 in the Jacks Tyres entry. He's had a good, consistent weekend despite having a little bit of a hit yesterday, but looks as though Hughesy now not necessarily going around the outside. He's just going to focus for the last 2 laps to try and get through, maybe consolidate some points. The same probably with Brad Gardner as well. Very impressed with Josh Haynes. He kept all and sundry behind him there, albeit being under the blowtorch. There was massive pressure from Gardner, but he's kept his head as we look at Heyman now trying to make a move on Graham Cheney, the number 51 PhD Camaro. He's got tyres, he's got brakes, he's got talent. Can he get it done? Cheney a little defensive. He tries to crossover. He's got a groin, picked up the ripple strip, unfortunately. That could hurt Heyman's run down into turn 1.
Cheney was good through the centre. Just on that previous lap down to 3, Haynes still he's still got them chasing him down because he actually had a little chirp under brakes and it just snapped the rear of the car before turning into 3. So he's still susceptible, and Gardner is not giving up. And that was a big-time sideways moment for Brad Gardner off of 2. That is such a cool shot.
You know what I'm looking at here? These were not the greatest tyres for the weekend.
You reckon?
I reckon they're going to bolt them on for the last race. Even though they've torched them by racing so hard in the early stages of this race, I just look at the way they're coming off turn 2 now, and those rears are absolutely torched. So Gardner just calmed down a little bit. You can see a little bit of grip has come back because he's also now ranging back on the end, back on the back of Josh Haynes with 1 lap to go.
Well, that was 6 or 7 car lengths a lap ago. So Gardner has got express pace, and he's just purpled the first sector again. So he's actually managed to get back up on top of it and go forward. Whoa. And he's back right on the back bumper of Haynes, down through to 6 on slight run to the outside. Can he get the crossover as Haynes very, very narrow through the centre of 6? This is well and truly game on.
Tim Brook will be in Gardner's ear. He's driving coach as we start our final lap here for race 3 of the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series. A good run through 1 for Haynes.
How much are those cars moving around through 1 and 2?
Watch them up here. Let's see what the rear tyre life quality is like.
That was actually a better run for Gardner.
Here we go. What can he do? You can see him getting closer up to Josh Haynes into turn 3. What will he try and do? He's going to make him go the long way around. This is the last of the late breakers. Can he get it rotated? Will he try the over-under, or will he try and hang tough round the outside? No, but he's got pace again.
He's got fantastic exit speed off of 3. He's going to have to look to the outside, but that may allow... a big late-breaking move. Haynes has got the inside run. It's side by side. Side by side. Gardner, can he drive around the outside? Haynes, there's overlap. There's overlap. Gardner to the outside. Out on the gravel. There was definitely contact there, and Hughes now comes back into the equation.
My goodness me. Have a look at the strength of the Camaros as Hughesy now sniffs an opportunity to try and maybe gain a step.
What a race. Jared Hughes third. Josh Haynes will take the win. Haynes going to run on Cheney down the line. Cheney holds on to 4th. Wow. Josh Haynes 3 for 3 as Josh Thomas has a handful there with a battle with Hayden Jackson. I'm trying to catch my breath there because what a sensational race with the TFH Hire TA2 muscle cars framed by Hi-Tec steel framing. Wow.
Great comeback from Mark Crutcher too from the back. I started this broadcast with no voice. Didn't help that race. So I'm going to go and have a Bex and a lie down as we look at our Hi-Tec Oils scorecard. Josh Haynes, fantastic effort. P1 from Brad Gardner, Jared Hughes and Graham Cheney. Again, Cheney just consolidating those points. Heyman, what a drive from the back of the grid all the way to P5. Mark Bailey, Connor Roberts, there's that guy, Connor Roberts. He's the rookie.
Jermaine Ramsey, 8th.
Great drive from Hayden Jackson in 9th. He finished a race, old Haydos. Well done, Hayden Jackson. And Josh Thomas in the 169 TFH Hire entry in 10th. Crutcher made it all the way back to 11th after that spin. Russell Wright in 12th. Des Collier in 13th. Paul Hadley 14th. Anthony Tenkate, Steve Wilson, Jason Pride got back out on the track from that incident in the first couple of corners. So well done to his team. Hollinger and Danny Reedy.
Down on pit lane while we catch our breath. J-Mac, yours.
That was everything that I was promised and more. Jared Hughes, you had to drive the American Muscle Trucks Camaro like you stole it. Man, some crazy battles.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy up the front there. There's a bit going on, but happy we actually earned that one that time, but still just not happy with how the car's going. Still had some overheating problems. That's why we sort of had to back off a bit in the middle stage and try and come back at the end. But oh well, we're getting there. We're getting there, and we'll keep trying for the next one.
Great stuff. Let's have a chat. Brad Gardner, mate, an incredible race there, swapping positions with our eventual race winner. It was a wild time at the front.
Yeah, not much room on the outside, is there? Especially when the other car doesn't give it to you. But look, the car's fast. Like we worked really hard last night. Maxie, Ben, Adam, and Tim. Like we sat down, put our heads together, and what we needed to do to catch the 37. And we done that. And I can't thank the boys enough. But you know, if that's what we're racing like, can't wait for the next one.
Great stuff. Let's go and have a chat with our race winner, Josh Haynes. Get in here. Josh, you had to work for that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did have to work for that one, and yeah, we had 2 quick cars behind me. It was super close racing, and I was parking my car in a spot where you know, he could get down either side of me. So I've got marks on my car and he's got marks in his car. So it was a great race. Thanks to the Herzog Steel Mustang, and yeah, bring on the next one.
Back to you guys in commentary.
All right, we are less than a couple of minutes away from the TFH TA2 Muscle Car Series Rain by Hi-Tec finale. They're coming out on track. Earlier on in the weekend, we caught up with some of our TA2 Series rookies here at Queensland Raceway.
It's a massive field of TA2 and we are welcoming 7 rookies into the ranks. They're all fighting it out for the Racetech Rookie of the Year award. And we're going to go and meet some of them now. These are drivers that have come from all walks of life and all disciplines of racing. Let's go and check it out.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. We're obviously from Perth, Western Australia, so done a few rounds over there with all the local guys, and it's been really enjoyable. There's some good guys over there, and yeah, we just thought we'd try and mix it up a bit and head over east. Yeah, it's a lot different. It's there's not a lot you can compare with compared to the sprint car, but this is kind of the way it works out. It's our off season, so yeah, rather than sitting at home on the couch, we thought we'd go racing.
It's my second round. Our first round was at Morgan Park, which was a good fun weekend, and just building up confidence in the car, learning the category. It was really good. So excited to be here. Second round, first time at QR on one of these cars, and just had our first practice session. And yeah, things felt really good. So looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, pretty good. I learned heaps at Sydney, learned heaps at Morgan Park, and I'm ready to learn more this weekend. You know, top 10 will be happy for me. I'll be happy with that. Just learning heaps this weekend will be a big thing for me.
It's been a new experience everywhere we go, because everywhere is new for us. So it's just a matter of yeah, just trying to progress and get better throughout each weekend, and try and keep it on 4 wheels, but on the track as well is always a good thing. But yeah, it's just learning the boundaries really, how far you can push things, and then the next step will be learning what I like in the car. So it's good learning experience, and I have no expectations, so I'm enjoying it.
We come from HQs, that's where we started. Then we ventured off into saloon cars, category died, so we went to Aussie cars, and you know, had a win on debut here at Queensland Raceway last year. So we've been on the Aussie cars this year, which is obviously a completely different to these things. It's the power difference is like crazy different. So yeah, started from Aussie cars, we've been doing good there. So we're sitting top 5 at the moment in the series, and thought, you know, this opportunity to come around and drive a TA2. And I think I mentioned to you a while ago, for a dream car to jump into. So to get to drive this weekend with the TFH guys is awesome.
Our background, speedway, sprint cars, late models and midgets and stuff. Everything we do here is just different. So everything's new, everything's learning, like especially this track, 2 big massive braking zones. The speed you're carrying into them corners there, it's pretty cool.
I raced sprint cars for 15 years. It's a very similar feel on the tyre with the car, especially getting off the corner. So it's very relatable, these cars. It's competitive. The times in the practice is very competitive. We're within a few tenths of each other through the middle. So it should be a good day and a good weekend.
Great to see some new drivers coming in and being a part of the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Framing.
As we roll around from the start race 4, but there was some needle, there was some aggro after that race, and I love it.
I saw an agitated Josh Haynes in that interview at the end of race number 3.
Oh, no,
he had a bit of spirit going about him.
Gardner was also dirty.
Brad was a little bit dirty on it. I asked Jared Hughes before the start of this one, and I said to him, good luck, and he went, I'm sending it.
Here we go. Look at Graham Cheney down the inside. Hughes also down the inside. Gardner, he doesn't want to hang around this time. What's he going to do? He's on the outside through turn 1.
He's got to be careful not to get hung out to dry. Trying to live there. Hughes to the inside of Cheney. Gardner's managed to live there and slots into second. Boy, that was on.
Look at Hughes, but Gardner's run wide. That's going to ruin his run down into turn 3. That might give Hughes the opportunity. He had great braking ability in that last race. What's he going to do? Haynes with a little gap down into turn 3, but look at Hughes, and also look at the
Mark Bailey
in the Jack's tyre.
And here comes Heyman.
Well, Heyman definitely in the mix for the Hypercore Hard Charger Award after that last race. That was an outstanding effort riding on board with Josh Thomas.
At this stage in the last race, it all went horribly wrong on the opening lap on board with Josh Thomas further back through the field. Russell Wright ran a little bit wide out of turn number 3 just in one of the earlier shots. Hughes and Heyman side by side.
Locked it up. Locked it up, did Hughes. Now they're going to go side by side down into turn 1 as Bailey and Crutcher do as well. Crutcher just kept it on the road there, but look at Hughes. This is Josh Thomas on board. The battle ahead. Crutcher. Oh, there's
big lock up from Hughes. Big lock up from Hughes.
Avoids contact though for Heyman.
Heyman now up into 3rd. We talked about this possibility before the start of the last race, driving back through the field, did not contest race number 2, had a gearbox issue in race number 1. They've got a borrowed gearbox in that car out of the Hayden Jackson car, is my understanding. So watch Heyman, he could be a part to play in this. Gardner's gone purple to the first sector, but look at the gap to the leader. Haynes has already established just a little bit of a gap in the early stages of this 18-lapper. Bailey sideways out of turn number 3. What is it with the 2 yellow cars?
And speaking of Hayden Jackson, unfortunately, just too much damage from that previous race.
So he's
not able to make the start. Crutcher, the late break. Russell Wright also down on the inside Bailey.
Yellow,
the 3 yellow cars going at it, hammer and tong. Josh Thomas takes advantage of the opportunity as well. Bailey hanging to the inside there. What will Josh do here? Go for the over-under and have a crack under brakes? No. Thinks better of it. Gets it squared up under brakes. Demain Ramsey, the C&H Trucking Camaro now.
Really impressive top 10 in the previous race with Demain Ramsey continuing to go forward. Mark Bailey's really impressed me. Apart from the little hiccup in the early race of the weekend where he did cop a penalty for contact with Mark Crutcher, he's been super, super fast. And he hasn't done a lot of race meetings in the TA2 category.
Look at this, the brakes, here it goes. The braking duel between the number 4 of Crutcher and the 55 of Wright. The veterans going punch for punch. Crutcher gets the inside line, but they still go side by side.
Russell should be able to live there.
Heading down to turn 6. Now Bailey slide up the inside of the 55 and get the spot 2. Now they make contact. It's great racing. Demain Ramsey goes around as well.
I think that was a reaction to what was going on up ahead, and he's had to get on the brakes and unfortunately has rotated the C&H Trucking number 71. But what a great battle we're watching here between Wright, Bailey and Crutcher.
So it's all about tyre life here, because we've got 18 laps the journey this time. Normally 12, we're going 6 extra laps in these races. So you need to be a little careful that you don't spend your savings too early, Jamie, because there's a fair chance that the tyre sets on the cars now are not their best. I spoke to Mark Crutcher, he said, no, we don't have anything in this final race, so it's all going to come down to his ability to brake.
Bailey with a big brake lock up on the right front in the Jax 12.
You've got to take your opportunities when they come. Hi-Tec Oil Super Series replay. Have a look at the Jax car of Bailey in the back. Just a little touch of Wright, but Demain Ramsey saw it all going ahead of him and thought, you know what, I don't think I want to play with this. And it just turned himself around there. But again, from a Speedway background, to be playing up with those veterans,
he was in the top 10.
Outstanding work from
Absolutely, he was in the top 10. All right, Bailey's managed to clear Crutcher now. Russell Wright's got away from both of them. Josh Thomas in behind them. Then Connor Roberts coming off a penalty in race number 3.
Heard some tyres protesting in the background there.
Des Collier and John Hollinger. You heard that and reacted to it in the background.
Get it out, John, get it out. There we go, good work.
All right, so Hollinger back on track. Josh Haynes out in front, 0.7 of a second over Brad Gardner. Heyman's on another purple sector, but he's actually closed the gap by 0.3 in the last lap to within 1.2 seconds of Brad Gardner.
You can tell here the tyre life and the number 4 is just...
Oh, Bailey. It actually turned left under brakes on the approach to the turn number 3. There's the tyre squeal, and obviously a little bit of a get-together between the 63 and the 20.
A lot of locking up on the inside front rights, both at 6 and at turn 3 as well, which is not usual for these cars. If you're going to do it, you've got to get the car stopped.
Heyman's had it off because that was dragging a lot of material. Might have just run wide off the end of the 5 maybe, because looking at it, he hadn't actually... Was Hughes back ahead of him? He's definitely he's off again. And on the pit lane goes Heyman.
What has happened to Tom Heyman?
Is that maybe a tyre going down?
Well, we'll get one of our pit reporters to jump into Tom Heyman's car and find out what's going on there. But
I thought it was him that went off at the exit of 5. Here we go for the race lead.
Getting tighter. Look at Gartner now. Ranging up to the back of Josh Haynes, our championship leader. Gartner had great brakes in race 3. Can he get it done this time? But we've still got 11 laps to go of the 18-lap journey. So a long way to go, and you cannot spend your tyre life too early. You can't miss any opportunity, Jamie, but you've just got to be careful as we look at Tom Heyman in the DePrinzio concreting Mustang just pulling into the garage there. What a tough weekend for the young fella who's got serious pace. He's in the box seat for our Hypercoil hard charger, but look at the braking on Gartner, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to keep applying the pressure to Josh Haynes, our championship leader, if he's going to have a chance. Josh just a little wide on exit there, and Gartner a little more clean. So he's got to build the pressure, Jamie. He's got to build it. He's got to try and put Haynes under pressure and maybe put him into a mistake with the Hi-Tec oils replay here. Oh, yeah.
There's Heyman going off at 5. So that's what I saw with the dust trailing behind the car when it came back on track.
Something happened mid-corner there. You could see that just at the exit, he just couldn't, well, he got the apex, but just couldn't hold fast to that normal exit line. So, and here comes Gartner, again in the mirrors of Haynes. Lap 8 of 18.
I thought Haynes on that last lap through 6 looked a little bit more solid through the centre of the last corner, whereas Gartner was a little bit more sideways.
Well, he was a 1/10 of a second quicker, Gartner, to Haynes on that lap. So he's just got to keep applying the blowtorch. But this is letting Hughes, who still looks like he's having a few little brake lockups in the background there, this is letting him in the game as well. Could we have another barn burner of the end of the race with the 3 of these guys going punch for punch?
If Hughes can get to them, yes, definitely. Graham Cheney in 4th, and we've got Des Collier off.
That's deep. Will he be able to get that appropriate corner for him to go off there too with the TFH signage in the background? But hopefully he can get that restarted. We do not want to see a safety car here.
Well, that could be a game changer because that brings the likes of Cheney and Russell right back into the... He's not getting that out of there.
No.
He's not. Is that 3?
I'd say that's possibly 3 or 6. But here's the thing. It's going to close everybody up. It's also going to cool the tyres down. You're going to get some grip left in these tyres or come back to you in these tyres. So that is down in turn 3 is Des Collier.
Here's what happened to the TFH number 63 of Des Collier.
Locked the rears, you can see it there. He's chatted the rears and then jumped onto the front and locked up the front. So that all that is just experience. He's come down into one of the bigger braking manoeuvres that you'll have in the TA2 racing series. Just didn't have enough bias either to I think probably had a little too much bias to the front.
So for the round, Haynes, Gartner, Hughes, 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. Graham Cheney just needs 4 points to get up under the podium for the round, but we've still got a lot of laps left here at Queensland Raceway as it looks like we are about to go green with the resumption of the final race here at Queensland Raceway for the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing.
He's getting
Haynes
to his head.
Really slow to the line, and he can control that pace. Got a fantastic restart.
That was very smart.
Just caught Gartner napping a little bit. Hughes hasn't reinvigorated the tyres underneath the number 118 machine. The main Ramsey with a little pinch for the right front down on the approach to 1. Josh Haynes did a great job with that restart.
That's bought him potentially half to 3/4 of a lap with peace and quiet. And that's also allowed Hughes now to get up to the back of Gartner as well. So that was really smart racing from our championship leader, Josh Haynes, in the 37 Herzog Steel Mustang.
Gartner's so strong under brakes.
Both he and Hughes are very, very good under brakes. So, as I said, that bought him about a half to 3/4 of a lap of peace and quiet. We'll see what Gartner can do now here down into 4. Hughes applying the blowtorch as well. Cheney in 4.
Gartner with a lockup. Gartner with a lockup into 4. Cheney must be starting to really suffer on tyres, because that's important for the championship. That puts a car between himself and Josh Haynes, who extends even further in that separation now.
That's what you're seeing now about tyre life. We're seeing a lot of the guys locking up, pinching tyres, where you would normally brake when the tyre life was strong. You can't brake there anymore, or you're just going to lock them up. So a little bit of heads-up driving from both Cheney and from Russell Wright there. We talked about Russell Wright at the top of the show. He is a veteran, and he is smart, and he is competitive.
And
if
he's
you don't
still
mind,
super fast.
And he's 72. 72 years of age. Russell Wright doing a great job. Domain Ramsey once again.
That was
an CNH Trucking 71
through the middle of 4 and 5.
Now
right back to the leaders. Haynes with a little bit of breathing space. Not as big a gap behind Gartner to Hughes, and is definitely not over with 4 laps left to go. Tim Brook looking on. Not a lot of radio chat going on right now to Brad Gartner, but
we've got 6 laps to go, and I wonder if at a point in time at the end of this season, we will look back on that restart from Josh Haynes and mention how smart that was. He banked them all up, and then like a jackrabbit exploded out of the gates, and he's been able to retain that gap all the way through now with only 4 laps to go of this final race of the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing.
You know what was the difference at the moment for me? After Morgan Park, a little bit of confidence exited Josh Haynes. That confidence is now back well and truly. And yeah, Hughes is starting to really work over that rear wing of the Hi-Tec Oils Camaro. Back on board with Thomas. He's monstering Mark Crutcher. This is for 7th. Couple of laps left to go here. Josh Haynes, Brad Gartner, Jared Hughes, 1, 2, and 3. Russell Wright in the background.
As I look at Hughes, he comes out of the tow. I reckon he's straight
overheating.
I reckon.
Yeah, good call, mate. Good call. Cheney still in that 5th position.
Bailey's all over him, though.
Oh,
look at this,
Bailey.
2-1 late in the race.
Looking real racy against Cheney, who's trying to maintain and lessen that gap to Josh Haynes out in front of the championship.
Bailey's ragging it.
Oh, we got definitely one off.
Who have we got off there? Not
Domain
again,
Ramsey.
Domain Ramsey.
And it's buried.
No.
It's buried.
That's down between 1 and 2. That is buried.
A lap and a half to go.
I reckon race control might have a word about this. We may get this flagged early, which will give Haynes the win, but he will be absolutely, oh, look at him. The hands in the head. He is upset as we watch the flag rostrum here. And the replay, yeah, he's just gone down into turn 1. Looks like he's had a bit of a lose there and gone deep into the sand, unfortunately, with a lap and a half to go. It may rob us of a bit of a finish here, but with race to go, they may just
I don't know that it would have made a lot. I don't know that it would have made a lot of difference, to be perfectly honest, mate.
Oh, here we go. They're going to call it 1 lap early. Steve Haynes on the wall, cheering home his boy.
Checkered flag.
That's
Josh
the flag.
Haynes. The clean sweep. We talked about the broom for Brad Gartner at Morgan Park. Get the broom out, Josh Haynes.
Well, he's laid a smackdown on Gartner this weekend. Hughes in 3rd. A great effort coming back into the series after debuting at Calder Park. Steve Wilson just crossing the line there in 11th position. Good run from him.
Oh,
Cheney. 10K and Hadley. Who's going to get it?
Thought it was Cheney. It was actually Hadley and 10K.
And Hadley got him. Hadley got him on the line for 14th position, so a great drive.
0.06 of a second.
There we go. Oh, you do not want cars going through there when yours turned to broadside like that, so I'm glad race control did get on the flag for that one, because that's on a left-hand drive car, that is not comfortable. So race 4 of the TFH Hire Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. It's Josh Haynes, your winner. And now your championship leader in the clear. From Brad Jones, Jared Hughes, Russell Wright in 4th, Graham Cheney. A good run at home for 5th position. Mark Bailey, solid all weekend for 6th. Mark Crutcher in 7th. Josh Thomas, a good drive for 8th. Connor Roberts, 9th. And Jason Pride, after his race 3 issue, up in 10th position. Good effort from Steve Wilson in only his 2nd round. Danny Reedy, 12th. John Hollinger, 13th. Paul Hadley, 14th. From Anthony, 10K, just across the line on that one. Domain Ramsey, braking issues all weekend, so he'll be disappointed. Des Collier, Tom Heyman, and Hayden Jackson were your non-finishers as we go down to victory lane.
Well, congratulations. 3rd for the round. Let's bring in Scott Texter, CEO for the Hi-Tec Group, to hand that one over. Jared Hughes, Congratulations. That finale really had you working hard out there. Tyres absolutely gone. We saw it was a struggle, but job well done.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit happy with that. We finally got the car to go around the corner, not too bad. So before that safety car, we were really chasing down the guys in front. So, no, I can't thank the team enough for giving me the chance to have a drive of this beast this weekend. Obviously, we had a few dramas, but it's ended up not too bad.
Fantastic stuff. Job well done. We're looking forward to seeing you at the next round.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Brad Gardner, P2 in that race, P2 for the round. I can tell by the look on your face, though, it's not where you want to be.
No, I think we had the car to win. Even yesterday, just probably didn't get the race start. It's probably number one thing. I think I heard Jared say the same thing. That race there, our best chance was before the safety car, and we unfortunately didn't maximise. But at the end of the day, you've got three 20-year-olds driving these cars very fast, and it's very good racing, and, you know, so much respect for Josh. It's just awesome racing, and I can't thank everyone enough. So Hi-Tec Oils for giving me this awesome car, and yeah, like I said, awesome racing, and thanks everyone involved.
Thank you, and it all went your way at Morgan Park. Second today, next one's Tail and Bend. What do you think?
Yeah, home round, just max attack. So Josh was right there at Morgan Park. Doesn't always work out for everyone, but no, I feel like we maximised what we have, and Josh maximised what he had, and we're rolling to the next round, and that's halfway in the season. I'm keen to get after it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, congratulations. You were on the hunt for 2 clean sweeps in a row. A job well done. Josh Haynes, top qualifier. Race 1, 2, 3 and 4 on top of the box. How does it feel?
Oh, honestly, like, words can't describe. The team's put in so much work. The whole team at Allstars, my friends, my family. We've put in so much work for this, so it means a lot. So shout out to Brad. We had a very hard race last race. He kept me on my toes all weekend, and yeah, well done to him. But yeah, just so happy. Another great round, heaps more points. The Herzog Steel Mustang is an absolute weapon, and yeah, looking forward to the Bend in 2 months' time.
So are we, mate. Thank you for your efforts, and job well done.
Thanks so much, and thanks to everyone at home.
Well done to Josh Haynes. Thank you, J-Mac and Mel down there on pit lane throughout the weekend. Time to have a look at the championship points after the round here at Queensland Raceway. Josh Haynes consolidating that championship lead. At the start of the weekend, tied on points with Graham Cheney. That gap is now 28 points, 6:48 pace, 6:20. Brad Gardner maintaining third overall in the championship on 5:76. Mark Crutcher fourth on 5:34. Paul Hadley still fifth on 4:98, followed by Connor Roberts, the best of the rookie performers. Danny Reedy, Domain Ramsey, Hayden Jackson and Stephen Wilson rounding out the top 10 in points for the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series framed by Hi-Tec. Just confirming that the next round is at the Bend, Shell V-Power Motorsport Park, August 30 to September 1st in South Australia. From there, we head down south to Victoria, just over the border to Winton Motor Raceway on the weekend of October 4th to the 6th. And then for round 6, the grand finale at One Raceway. Formerly Wakefield Park, there's been a lot of money and a lot of work going into that racetrack over the 25th to 27th weekend in October.
Well, let's sum it up. It has been an incredible day of racing here at the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series for TA2. Matty, highlights for you. Today, the action was hot. Josh Haynes taking 2 clean sweeps in a row.
How impressive. I mean, Gardner put the smackdown on him at Morgan Park for round 2, but Josh Haynes, after that mistake in qualifying, he's come back and he has shown the field how strong he can be. That restart in that 4th race, as I said in commentary, we may look back on that time and go, you know what, that's where Josh Haynes won the championship. It was a very mature drive for him. He drove very, very well all weekend.
Well, with that, round 3 of the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series is in the books. We look forward to round 4. Join us at the Bend. Looking forward to it. We'll see you then.